Hi, welcome to the Another Crispy Reddit Stories episode. Story number 1. I never thought I'd be the kind of guy to go down the path of revenge. Honestly, I always believed I'd walk away if someone ever cheated on me. I thought I'd take the high road, leave with my dignity intact. But that all changed the day I found out Kate was seeing someone else behind my back. Let me take you back to the start. My name's Jason, and I'd been with Kate for a little over 2 years. Our relationship started like a whirlwind romance. We met through mutual friends, and things just clicked. Kate was smart, funny, and absolutely gorgeous. She felt like someone out of my league, and I really believed we were building a future together. We even talked about moving in and getting married one day, but after a while, things started to feel off. I'm not someone who gets suspicious easily, but I noticed little changes. Kate started going out with her friends more and coming home later than usual. She'd say she was working late, but when I asked what project she was on, her answers were vague and didn't make sense. Then there was her phone. She became weirdly protective of it. She'd leave it face down on the table and take it everywhere with her, even to the bathroom. If I asked to borrow it, she'd hesitate before handing it over. It wasn't much at first, but it was enough to set off alarm bells in my head. One night, I got home early from work. Kate wasn't there, and her phone was buzzing on the kitchen counter. At first, I told myself not to touch it. I knew it wasn't right, but the nagging feeling that something was wrong wouldn't go away. I picked it up. I told myself I'd just check her messages for a second. If I didn't find anything, I'd put it back and forget all about it. The first message I saw was from someone named Chris. I thought he was probably a coworker or friend. But then I scrolled further, and my heart sank. Can't stop thinking about last night. You were incredible. I miss you already. And then another message. I don't know how much longer I can hide this, babe. I can't wait to see you again. My stomach twisted. This wasn't some friendly chat or innocent conversation. This was a full-blown affair. They'd been sleeping together for months, and I had no clue. I felt sick. I sat there, frozen, reading every message. They'd met at a bar, started hooking up, and had been sneaking around ever since. All this while Kate and I were planning a future together. I wanted to confront her immediately, but I didn't. The next few days were a blur. Kate acted completely normal, like nothing was wrong. She still smiled at me, hugged me, and said she loved me. It made me feel sick. I couldn't stand it. At night, I'd lie next to her, watching her sleep, thinking about what she'd done. I felt rage building inside me. I knew I wasn't going to just walk away. She had to feel what I was feeling. That's when I thought of Mark. Mark has been my best friend since high school. We've been through everything together. Heartbreaks, wild nights out, and everything in between. I knew Mark always had a bit of a crush on Kate, but I could tell. An idea formed in my mind. I texted Mark one night. "Hey, you got a minute? I need to talk," he responded quickly. "Yeah, what's up?" When he came over, I didn't waste time. I told him everything. I showed him the texts from Kate's phone, and he was shocked. Then, I told him my plan. I asked him to sleep with Kate. I know it sounds messed up, but I was hurt and angry, and I wanted Kate to feel what I was feeling. I wanted her to know what betrayal felt like. At first, Mark hesitated. He wasn't sure if it was a good idea, but eventually, he agreed. The plan was simple. I knew Kate would be home alone one night while I was working late. I told Mark to drop by casually, hang out, and see what happened. If the moment was right, he was supposed to make his move. A few hours later, I got a text from Mark. "It's done." She has no idea. I didn't feel relief or satisfaction. I felt nothing. I'd been so consumed by revenge that I forgot to think about what would happen after. The next day, I acted normal. Kate didn't suspect a thing, but inside, I was boiling with rage. That evening, when Kate got home, I finally confronted her. I showed her the messages from Chris. She went pale. Then, I dropped the bombshell. I told her what Mark had done. Her face crumbled. She started crying, begging me to forgive her. She said it was a mistake, that she still loved me. But I didn't care. Oddly, I didn't feel satisfied. I thought revenge would bring me closure, but instead I felt empty. The next day, I showed Kate the messages from Chris. She broke down in tears, begging for forgiveness. Then I told her about Mark. Her face went pale as the weight of everything hit her. I looked her in the eye and said, "You've lost me. You've lost Mark." Then I left. I didn't yell or cry. I just walked away, leaving her to deal with the wreckage she'd caused. Was the revenge worth it? Maybe, maybe not. But I stood up for myself, and that's something I'll never regret.